Hi everyone, I hope everyone is doing really very well and welcome to 27th November of Daily Decodes. Hope everyone is in a very good mood to learn the news, and as you are an aspirant, even if your mood is not good or bad or ugly, whatever it is, we have to go through the news. Okay, just a sec. I hope audio is clear to everyone. Audio and video is clear to everyone. Please let me know that audio and video is clear to everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to 27th November Daily Decodes. Good morning. Good morning. Can you please check the audio and video is fine or not? Is the audio fine? Okay, so audio and video is fine. Let's move to today's lecture. And before we move to the thought for the day, today we, thought for the day is from the legendary Rabindranath Tagore, and it says everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. Okay, now these are very deep words. Capacity to receive it. That means whatever you want, whatever legit you want or whatever legitimate you want, if you have the capacity to receive it. Capacity here means if you're ready to put efforts to receive it, if you're ready to put, efforts to receive it, if you're ready to push yourself, if you are determined for your goal, if you're ready to do perseverance for your goal, if you're confident for your goal, if you have determination, which I've already told, determination is there, perseverance is there, and you are ready to accept challenges, and whatever be the result, it is a result in negative manner or it is a result in positive manner, that means you were able to achieve the goal. And sometimes you will not be able to achieve the goal, the failures will also come. But if you learn from your failures and check what are the learnings from that failure and implement those learnings, eventually the goal will come to you. So until unless you make capacity, that means until unless if you are on 0, if you don't take yourself from 0 to 5, 5 to 7, 7 to 9, and then 10, then only you will be able to achieve the goal. So there is a continuous effort which is required. When we say that particular person is so successful, from be it Virat Kohli, Jasprit Bumrah, if I'm talking about cricket, or it can be entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs was so successful, Elon Musk is successful. If you see all these entrepreneurs, cricketers, businessmen who have been successful, or statesmen, why they have been successful? Because they were continuously evolving themselves. They were continuously evolving their capacity to accept challenges, learn from the challenges, and win over those challenges. If you do so, you will definitely achieve your goal. Good morning, good morning. So with this, let's move to important news of today. That is, Indian Constitution is a living document, says President. So we had covered yesterday. Yesterday was the Constitution Day, 26th November. We celebrated and we had gone into all important prelims related facto 8 and some important pointers of the Constitution. Those slides which were added yesterday, they are also in this PDF for your reference so that you don't have to juggle too much. And apart from that, what important statement Prime Minister has given, Prime Minister Modi and President Draupadi Murmu has given. These are very important statements because a polity question can come in mains on these statements. Then milk, meat, egg production increased in 2023 to 2024, center says. So from a food security point of view, this is a very positive news. And when it comes to largest production of milk, India is still the #1 country in the world. Pakistan crisis, Imran Khan supporters breach lockdown. So if you see D Chowk, there's a place in Pakistan called D Chowk, or the most importantly the area in Islamabad, the supporters of PTI, that is Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, that is the party of Imran Khan. Imran Khan has been in jail because he has around 150 cases against him for graft charges, basically corruption charges. Even if he is able to come out of one case, some new case pops up and he remains in jail. So a huge amount of supporters have gathered, and right now there is a international visitor, or rather international visit is also going on. So Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko is also in Pakistan, and right now it is a global embarrassment, or rather it's a Pakistani embarrassment which keeps happening, but globally also it's an embarrassment case for Pakistan, where the meeting with the Belarus president has gone on the sidelines. Rather they are trying to they are trying to stop these supporters of Pakistan's ex-prime minister, former prime minister Imran Khan, who has given them that this is the final call, and they have been on a rampage of positions and many things, and violence is happening in Pakistan. So now editorial between hope and hurdles on the high seas. There's an important agreement we'll talk about, that is biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction agreement. India has signed this, and what is the problem of this agreement we'll understand from prelims and mains. Both it is important. So let's go towards the first news, that is work together to uphold the spirit of the constitution. Murmu says, President Murmu, a nation first spirit will keep constitution alive, says Modi. So these were two important articles which had come from the Constitution Day, or from the point of view of constitution, which have come in today's newspaper. So we are covering both of them so that the most important statements comes out. So President of India addressed an event commemorating year of adoption. Rather, on 25th, she had taken a special session also, which we had covered yesterday in the Decode. Now she addressed an event commemorating 75 years of the adoption of Constitution at the historic Central Hall of the Samvidhan Savan on 26th November 2024. And why it is on 26th November 1949 the constitution was adopted. 26th January 1950 it was it came into force. Okay, she hailed the constitution as a progressive living document. So why our constitution is called progressive living document? Why it is a living document? So it is not something which is static in nature, which will not move. As our society has evolved, over a period of time from 1947 till 2024, multiple constitutional amendments have been done. As the society's ethos change, as the need of society change, as the need of the parliament also changes, as the need of the people of the country changes, as the people in parliament believe that these changes are very important for the country. In that context, it is important that the amendments in the constitution also happens, from emergency to from 42nd constitutional amendment and majors. I am basically talking about 42nd constitutional amendment because it was known as the it was also known as the mini constitution, 42nd constitutional amendment act 1976. And over a period of time, multiple constitutional amendment acts have happened, be in terms of fundamental duties or in terms of additions to something on fundamental rights, giving some exceptions so that socio-economic parameters can be there, from reservation to different parameters. So that is why the president says, prime minister says, that is the progressive living document. And as we move in the coming decades and coming years, the constitution, more amendments will come because society is also evolving. We are also evolving. The people who were in 1947, 48, 49, in 2024, the thought process of people have also changed. Okay. So in that context. So the prominent dignitaries were your Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla, and Prime Minister attended the event. Constitution is a living document. Constitution reflects justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Many of these principles which we discussed yesterday, they have been taken from different constitution, from America. No, I'm not saying just these principles. For example, we had discussed what we have taken from American Constitution or UK or Government of India Act 1935, which becomes the basis even today of our constitution. Framer ensured it adopt new ideas for evolving societal needs, which are very important. And apart from fundamental rights, we also have fundamental duties. Because if you have individual rights, at the same time, the nation expects you to obey some duties. Like national unity and integrity, promoting harmony and dignity of women, protecting the environment and public property, developing a scientific temper. But just like DPSP and even fundamental duties are not justiciable in nature. So I've also added some basic facts related to fundamental duties. They are part of Part 4A. They were incorporated under the recommendation of Swaran Singh Committee, and they came under the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. Initially, they were 10 in number, but later under the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act 2002, all the one more fundamental duty was added. All 11 duties are listed in Article 51A, which is under Part 4A. Article 51A under Part 4A. Okay. Fundamental duties serve as a reminder to citizens while enjoying the rights. And when we talk about rights, your fundamental rights, they also have to be quite conscious of duties they owe to the country, to the society, and what are their duties they must do. Okay. But at the end of the day, most important thing is like directive principle. These duties are non-justiciable in nature. That means you cannot go in court and say that, that these people were not doing these duties. You are expected to do so. Okay. So unlike fundamental rights, which are justiciable in nature, these are non-justiciable in nature. Okay, similar to DPSP. So achievement through the constitution, ambitious goal in social justice and inclusive development have been achieved. Prime Minister also gives some examples what his government has been able to achieve in the last, his third tenure is going on, what he has been able to achieve. We'll come to those pointers also. So let me come to those, what he basically said. He said bank accounts open for over 53 crore people, affordable homes for 4 crore families, cooking gas cylinders distributed to needy women, health insurance scheme for the poor, and many other schemes have been introduced. Now these 4 parameters or 4 facts which Prime Minister has given, you can incorporate in your UPSC mains answer also, where you need to add some facts or what government has been able to achieve. And government and the Prime Minister is basically saying that when we talk about socio-economic inclusive development, these are certain parameters his government has been able to achieve. And apart from that, he also said constitutional integration in Jammu and Kashmir. Now Jammu and Kashmir, before the abrogation of Article 370, used to have a separate constitution, but now the Indian constitution is running there because abrogation of Article 370 has happened. And he also said that for the first time Constitution Day was celebrated in Jammu and Kashmir, because obviously their constitution was separate earlier, but now the things have changed. So President also spoke about symbolism of preamble, emphasized the ideals captured within the essence of India's democratic and pluralistic society. So when we talk about preamble, yesterday we were also going through the news of what Justice Sanjeev Khanna had spoken on secular and socialist principles, that they are part of the preamble. And the definition of socialism is not that we are, following that socialism ideology of Russia or China or any of the extreme left-wing countries, but the focus here in socialism is that our socialism talks about inclusive development. When we say sabka saath, sabka vikas, and on the other side, the socialism does not mean that there cannot be private sector. Even similarly, they clarified the definition of secularism also. Okay, that state does not have any particular religion, and state does not focus on any one particular religion or is against any particular religion. So legislative efforts and government measures have improved life, especially for weaker sections. Obviously, when we talk about our country, there is a huge amount of development which is still needed. But I'll quote something which we saw in one of the Bollywood movies, Rang De Basanti. It was a line that koi bhi country perfect nahi hoti, use perfect banana padta hai. That means no country is perfect. We have to work hard so that that country becomes perfect. And perfect, I mean not extremely perfect, that there is extreme perfectness is very difficult to achieve. Okay, so here means from developing to developed stage, you need to put focus on people, you need to put focus on standard of living, you need to put focus on economy, diplomacy, military, economic progress, power, energy. And when overall cohesive development of society happens, and the national security happens, and economy happens, and diplomacy happens, overall you will grow. And for this, it is very important that the human resource of your country and the government they work together in a intended goal which has to be achieved. So then only when we talk about sabka saath, sabka vikas, that everybody should come together and there should be inclusive development, then only it will happen. Otherwise, the development can be very skewed in nature, that only one particular rich community or one particular community is developing, but the other is not. So it is very important that when we talk about the DPSP principles, it is important that even the weaker section, there is a development which happens with them. Okay. Prime Minister also spoke about enduring the spirit of nations first as a guiding principle to the constitution relevant for centuries. So again, the spirit of nation first, that nation is the topmost. When we see about our country's development should be the topmost task. Event was held at Supreme Court and there would be year-long commemoration of the adoption of Constitution. Constitution is a living document. This has come twice. President Murmu has said, Prime Minister Modi has said, and again, why it is a living document? Because the Prime Minister also said that, it is not only a book of laws, but it is rather a dynamic document which is continuously evolving. As the needs of society are evolving, things will change. Okay, so this we have done. The coin was released. President released a commemorative coin symbolizing 75 years of the Constitution and highlighted the long deliberative process in which it took more than 2 years, rather very close to 3 years, in which people from every community, male, female, everybody came and they gave their important viewpoints. Yesterday we had discussed an important editorial talking about founding mothers. And today in Indian Express, I think there's an article which is talking about how the founding mothers and what they contributed to the Constitution, similar to what we did in The Hindu today. So again, so many contributions came and so much deliberation was done so that we get a very good Constitution. Okay. So key takeaways: progressive living document. It focuses on justice, liberty, equality, fraternity, brotherhood, inclusive development. Unity, harmony and constructive debate are vital for upholding its values, and there is separation of power. When we talk about our constitution, separation of power between legislature, executive and judiciary, which is one of the important base of our constitution or robust democracy. So a mains question has been added. The Indian Constitution is often described as a living document. Discuss this characterization with reference to its adaptability and achievement in social justice, inclusive development. Okay, this I had covered yesterday, but I have added these slides so that if you have not downloaded the previous one, at least you go through this one. Everything related to Constitution Day and basic facets of Constitution have been added, the major important pointers. And if you want to understand them, I've explained these pointers in yesterday's Daily Decode. You can go through it and learn them. Okay, now let's come to 6 killed in Imran Khan's supporters takes to Islamabad. And I think what we are getting to know, out of this 6, 2 are from paramilitary of Pakistan and 4 are from the local police So Pakistan is again in turmoil. Imran Khan supporters stormed the streets and Shehbaz Sharif government faces a new challenge. So it's again a global embarrassment for Pakistan, which is nothing new, but it is happening again. But this time there's a international visit of Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko is also going on. Okay. Curious, good morning sir, is this discussion daily? Yes, it has been going from 17th October. 17th October we started, Monday to Saturday this discussion happens, and the timing of the discussion is 10 AM in the morning. Every day this discussion happens where we complete the Hindu newspaper, most important articles and the editorials which are very necessary for your UPSC examination or whichever examination you're preparing for. So Pakistan leaders have embarrassed their country yet again. They have a visitor, President of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, and that visit has gone on the sidelines because Imran Khan protesters are all over the Pakistan. Rather, their focus is on breaching the Islamabad and the government buildings and everything. So why are they doing at this point of time? Because an international visit is going on. When international visit is going on, lot of cameras are focused on that country, lot of optics are focused on that country, international media are covering you. So when international diplomatic visit is happening, like the President of Belarus is coming here, so the international media also covers it. But because of this Imran Khan protest, they knew that if we do our protest at the time when Alexander Lukashenko will be here, media will definitely cover. Even if Pakistan media tries to, not show this news or they try to block this news, international media will cover it. And that was the agenda of Imran Khan, and he has been able to achieve. Now, Imran Khan has been in jail for a very long period of time. He has around 150 charges against him. These are basically graft charges or corruption charges. But his supporters, and including his wife, they say that these charges which has been posed against Imran Khan, these are politically motivated in nature, and the government on the other side say that we cannot release Imran Khan. That action needs to be done by the court, or by the law will take its own action. So this is the tussle which is going on, and Imran Khan knows that this is a very good opportunity to use his supporters, and that is why from his jail he said this would be the final call, and all his supporters have come in Pakistan to Islamabad. They are breaching. Even this shipping containers have been put to stop them. They have breached those shipping containers. There's a huge amount of violence which is happening, and the Pakistani army, Pakistani police has not been able to stop them, and that is why it is a global embarrassment for Pakistan. Now, just imagine this kind of violence is happening. So many terror attacks in Pakistan are happening. It keeps happening. The terror attacks are happening against Pakistani army. Balochis are killing them, like anything. They're killing them like anything, be it from Quetta attack to different attacks. So Tehreek-e-Taliban is doing attacks on Pakistan. Balochistan army, not they are recognized army. It's a group as per Pakistan. They are terrorists. So that group is also attacking Pakistanis. They are also attacking Chinese, because Chinese are putting their money in Balochistan and taking their resources under the garb of CPEC, that is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. So this kind of terror attacks are happening. Pakistan is mismanaged. The government is not able to do anything. They don't have money. On this, when so much of turmoil is happening in this country, they are expecting India to come and play Champions Trophy. So, that we need to give something to their confidence that their country is going through so much of turmoil, but they still have the confidence to do so. So, this mega protest is happening. So, supporters of the imprisoned Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan broke through a security lockdown in Islamabad, demanding his release, and they are basically trying to go to D Chowk. That is a D Chowk, it's a square where all these protesters come. And on backhands, there are talk also going between the PTI party, and that is Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, that is the party of Imran Khan, and the current government dispensation under the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. The talks are going on. They are saying that we will give you a different place, you can protest there. Obviously, they are not interested in protest to some other side. They want to protest in Islamabad so that they can make global headlines, and the objective is to get Imran Khan out of jail. That's the major objective. Okay. So protest turned violent, resulting in death of 6 individuals. Imran Khan is 150 charges. Authorities we've covered. Apart from march towards red zone, now protesters were around 10 kilometer. Red zone is an area which is around 10 kilometer, which houses government buildings. So they are just 10 kilometers away. So if they are able to reach these places, obviously it will create more news. And Twitter or X has been banned. Social media, there is a carpet ban on social media. Now all these protesters use social media so to tell about their messages or to communicate. But there's a blanket ban on social media in Pakistan because of this current incident. So over 4,000 PTI supporters have been arrested, and the number of supporters are in 10-15,000. And you have to give it to Imran Khan that he is currently the most popular leader in Pakistan. Without doubt, we can say the kind of people who are behind him, and they feel that he can change the economy, or the how Pakistan can be changed. That's what they think, the PTI and PTI supporters. But he is one of the most, or rather the most popular leader in Pakistan as of now. Okay, he's any day more popular than Shehbaz Sharif and Nawaz Sharif. Okay, so mobile internet services, messaging platform have been disrupted. PTI relies on this, and roads from Islamabad are being blocked with shipping containers severely disrupting travel. So if you see, even Imran Khan's wife, she was also in jail, but now she has been released around a month back. She was released. She is also heading these protests, and she has said to protesters that if you leave this side, Imran Khan will not come out, and this is our final call, and we will make sure that Imran Khan will be released from jail. So time will tell what eventually happens, but this is what contemporary going on. And rest key takeaways are that Imran Khan enduring popularity and volatile political environment. Obviously, in this kind of political environment and terror attacks happening, it is very difficult that you can host a trophy. I think the trophy might get shifted. Why I'm talking about Champions Trophy? Because they continuously talk about it. Okay, so this can be an effect of the internal issues affecting an external event. So government measures including mass arrest, internet blackouts have heightened. Red zone remains a focal point of conflict, and they are majorly protesting around the D Chowk area. It's a square complex, or rather area where major protest happens. Okay. Okay, and so this is going on, and Imran Khan's wife Bushra Bibi is also, being part, or rather leading the protest right now. So yesterday I've already told you, but I'll again tell you that there's a scholarship test for OGP 2026, and this is an offline and online guidance program. OGP, this scholarship test will happen on 1st December 2024. 1st December 2024. It would be in offline and online mode, and for all details you can scan this QR code. If you come in the first to fifth rank, you will get 100% scholarship. If you come in 6 to 100 ranks, you will get 20% scholarship, and if you get from 100 to 200 rank, you will get 15% scholarship. And the test would be in MCQ format. You will get 100 MCQs in the CSE prelims format, and negative marking would be there. So definitely you should join the scholarship, and even if you're already enrolled in some other program, but then also you should try and give this. At least you will get to know, you will face 100 questions. That would be very good for you. And I will also give you the timings of the test. Just give me a second. So timing of the test is, so offline timing of test would be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and online it would be 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay, so this would be the timings. Offline it would be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Online it would be 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and it would be on 1st December. Scholarship test for OGP 2026. And the next is that the anthropology course is starting. Optional course is starting on 2nd December under the guidance of Dr. Arjun Bopanna sir. He's a faculty for anthropology, a very renowned faculty, and there would be around 100 classes of 2.5 hours each. Systematic and comprehensive syllabus completion would be done. Online and offline. Offline it would be only in Bangalore. Online you can have access anywhere. Special attention to the presentation of the content, and there would be 10% discount is available till 30th November, and this is the current fees. And if you want to know the details regarding the course, you can scan this QR code and you will get every information. Details related to this particular scholarship test in this course are also being given. The links have also been given in the description. Okay, and you can also call on this number. Okay, 8069405205 for all details. Now let's go to the next important news. That is milk, meat and egg production increased in 2023 to 2024. So from food security point of view, important news is coming. Okay, so there is a report which has come, basic animal husbandry statistics 2024 report, and as per this report, which was released by Union Minister Rajiv Ranjan Singh, significant growth has been seen in milk production, meat production, egg production and wool production. Milk, meat, egg and wool production. Wool, it has been smaller, but at least there is an increase. India remains the top global producer of milk and ranks second in the egg production. So key takeaways of this report are: milk production has increased by 3.78%, and the state which is leading is Uttar Pradesh. Egg production has grown by 3.18% annually, and the state leading is Andhra Pradesh. Meat production rose by 4.95%, and the state leading it is West Bengal. Wool production showed slight growth, and the state which is leading is Rajasthan. So milk production, Uttar Pradesh, egg production, Andhra Pradesh, meat production, West Bengal, and wool production, Rajasthan. So this can typically be a very good prelims question. They will put, they will put milk, egg, meat, wool, and then they will say leading states, and they will ask you to match the following. So this can also come in your prelims question or in any of the MCQ based examination. Okay. Rest, these are the exact detail what is happening in milk. So milk production saw growth rate of 3.78%, reaching 293.30 million tons. Compound annual growth rate has gone by 5.62%. So it is compound growth rate is happening. So the previous year growth rate is helping the next one to grow. In 2014-15, milk production was just 146.3 million tons. It has now gone to 230.58 million tons by 2022-2023, and even from 230 it has gone to 239.3 million tons in 2023-2024. Uttar Pradesh is the largest producer. Other leading states are Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Highest annual growth in production, if you see, has happened in West Bengal, followed by Jharkhand. If we see egg production has also reached 142.77 billion. Obviously, these are very statistical numbers. These numbers might not exactly come. If you know which state has the best production or which is the highest, that would do. These numbers are only if you want to, if a question comes on food production on or basically on these kind of meat, egg, you're talking about food security, you're talking about. So certain fact will only enhance your answer. Okay, so CAGR has also grown. And state-wise contribution, Andhra Pradesh largest producer. Other leading states for egg is Tamil Nadu, Telangana, West Bengal and Karnataka. So majority of the states which are doing are coming from south. So meat production, if we see, overall growth has reached to 10.25 million tons, an increase of 4.95%. CAGR has gone by 4.85%. And if we talk about states, if we talk about the states' contribution in this, West Bengal is leading, and other leading states is Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. Highest annual growth in production has happened in Assam. But there is also one more question which can come from meat, that is contribution type. That means in meat, which particular kind of meat contribution is the highest? So highest is your poultry. Oh, it comes to your poultry. So when we talk about chicken, mainly chicken, it comes. So 48.96, your hens will come in this. Then comes buffalo meat 18%, then comes sheep and goat 11%, and cattle and pig 2.60%. So it has to be like this: poultry, then would come your buffalo, then come your sheep and goat, and then come your cattle and pig. So this can also be a question for your prelims point of view. In wool production, Rajasthan is the largest contributor. Total wool production was 33.69. A slight growth has been seen. Earlier it was 33.61 million. From 33.61 million, it has gone to 33.69. So not a major increase, but still a increase. Now let's go to today's editorial. Okay, so from a republic, no. So I think the picture is missing, but the editorial is in today's newspaper. The editorial is this. That is between hope and hurdles on high seas. Okay. So it basically talks about this important biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction. Let's discuss this. Okay, I'll add that later. So before we understand what is biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, you need to understand what are high seas. If you don't understand what are high seas, you will not even understand this particular agreement or treaty. Okay, let's understand what is this agreement. But before that, we need to understand what are high seas. So high seas refer to ocean water, and whatever happens in these particular high seas, these resources which you get here, no country can access it. So this refer to ocean water column that lies beyond the boundary of any one country, also known as area beyond national jurisdiction. So if I say that this X particular area is high sea, So be it America, be it China, be it India, or be any country, we will not have jurisdiction over those high seas. We will not have jurisdiction over the any mineral resources which you can get from these high seas. For example, Pacific blue tuna, fish that lives in the high seas, white shark, a shark that lives in the high seas, northern elephant seal, a seal that lives in the high sea, Laysan albatross, a bird that lives in the high seas. If they are in high seas, so obviously you cannot exploit these resources because they are in high seas, and no sovereign country will have jurisdiction over this high seas. Now this agreement is basically based on high seas. I hope everything is clear. What is a high sea? So if I say this particular, this particular area of Indian Ocean or Pacific Ocean, whichever, that this is high sea, whatever resources are there, neither America, neither India, neither China, any of these countries will not have jurisdiction over the resources there. Okay. So it will lie beyond the national jurisdiction. Now let's come to the biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction agreement. So BBNJ agreement, it's a high seas treaty. Now you understand why it is called high seas, why I wanted you to understand what is high sea. Now you will easily understand what this treaty talks about. Okay. It is an international treaty under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Seas, UNCLOS. I think in the last 4 or 5 lectures we have discussed UNCLOS a lot, and it has come in 1982. This UNCLOS had come. It talks about law and order when it comes to the law of the sea. It aims to address growing concern over the long-term protection of marine biodiversity. That means in high seas, many countries are trying to exploit these resources, but marine biodiversity is getting affected by, since you are taking out the resources from there because you want to find rare earth minerals, or you want to find oil, gas, and because of this, the marine biodiversity in these high seas is getting affected. And when it comes to high seas, nobody has jurisdiction over this high seas. So its precise mechanism for the sustainable use of marine biological diversity through international cooperation and coordination, that this needs to be stopped. Parties cannot claim or exercise sovereign rights over marine resources in high seas. That is exactly what I am talking about. Derive from high seas and ensure their fair and equitable sharing of benefits. And even if we are taking something out of it, it should be equally distributed. No country will have sovereign rights over this high seas, and they will not have jurisdiction over the resources you will get out of this. Now let's come to the news. So India's signing of biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction agreement, also known as High Seas Treaty, has garnered mixed reaction. So India had signed this treaty, if I am correct, around July. So it was around July 2024 we had signed this, if I am correct. So you can go and find it out, but it was around this time, this year only. So while hailed as a landmark step in ocean governance, the problem is that signing is very easy, but most of the countries have not ratified it. And since it is not ratified, and there are a lot of problems with this particular agreement, we'll understand this. The challenges come from structural complexities, geopolitical rivalries between many countries, and then you have got China, jurisdictional overlap of similar kind of treaty. So the treaty, first of all, it is the third implementing agreement under UNCLOS. UNCLOS stands for United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, following earlier accords on deep mining and fisheries management. Okay, so earlier UNCLOS have also taken accords on deep sea mining and also on deep sea mining and fisheries management. What is UNCLOS? I have covered in previous lectures also. It's a 1982 agreement. It laid down a comprehensive regime of law and order in world ocean which needs to be followed, and sees establishing governing all rules for oceans and their resources which countries and sovereign countries need to follow, what kind of jurisdiction is there, and everything related to that. Now, what are the key provisions of the treaty? Conserving marine diversity in areas beyond national jurisdiction. Obviously, it is a high seas treaty, so that's the agenda, that whatever marine biodiversity should not be harmed here. Equitable sharing of benefits derived from marine genetic resources. So if you are getting some genetic resources, marine genetic resources, those benefits should be equally distributed. That's the major problem. Rich countries will never want to share it. Mandating environmental impact assessment for harmful activities. So environmental impact assessment would be done before a project starts in this particular area, and on the basis of that it would be allowed or not allowed. Now only 14 of 104 signatories have ratified it. Until unless 60 countries ratify it, this agreement will not come into force. Okay, so 60 ratifications are needed. So what is ratification? They will need to, put a bill and eventually an act has to be made in their government. Okay, that is ratification. So signing an agreement is only first step. After you sign that agreement, then in your country, you have to come up with a law which is related to that particular agreement, which, implements it, and executive agency gets the power. Now, geopolitical tensions such as South China Sea complicates the establishment of marine protected areas. China does not believe in any of these concepts. China is continuously drilling. They are trying to, they are creating artificial islands in South China Sea. They are continuously destroying and disturbing the marine environment or marine biodiversity environment. They are looking for rare earth minerals. So in this context, fighting with China or to get China on board would be difficult. Concerns among Southeast Asia and Bay of Bengal nation about their treaties impact, because coastal livelihoods depend on many of this marine biodiversity. So this agreement can have a ripple effect on their livelihoods also and the economic opportunities they have. So what are the challenges in implementation? First is marine genetic resources, which we are talking about, that they should be equally distributed. Now obligates nation to share profits. Many nations would not be willing to do it. Specifically the coastal countries, if there are 3, 4 coastal countries near about each other, they would not want to do it. That's a major problem. Exploiting genetic resources via global fund. We are not even able to get a global fund for climate change. This is far, far away. Risk underreporting by wealthier nations. Since wealthier nations have a better technology, they know more about marine biodiversity and marine resources, they might not willing to give you these genetic resources because they've had put money on their R&D, so they might not agree. Potential conflict with existing regimes like Convention on Biological Biodiversity, which will lead to disadvantages for the poor sections or the smaller states, or smaller states which have less resources. Capacity building and technology transfer. Now this is the same discussion which we keep having on climate change. You need to do technology transfer. Calls for equitable partnership in ocean science. Lacks enforcement mechanism, leaving low and middle income countries. Now low and middle income countries, least developing countries, developing countries, they will need resources, they will need funds, they will need technology. Now India has given, if you have been following news, the statement which came at the Baku, Azerbaijan COP29 statement, these were, India gave very hard statements there, which was the need of the hour, calling that whatever this summit has happened and the deal which was done. So India wanted to speak before the deal was closed. Okay, but India did not get the chance, and we told that this is an optical illusion. So if this is not happening in climate change, how do you expect that under this new agreement, the developing countries will get fund, they will get technology? Climate change is a bigger issue than this. I am not saying that this issue is less, but if we are not able to come together there and solve it, this is far, far away. So again, more of an agreement. Let's see what happens. Interconnected marine ecosystems. Now, there is also a problem that, that marine ecosystem, for example, say for example, the high seas are starting here and the exclusive economic zone ends here. So if this exclusive economic zone get polluted, this water will come here also, na? So it's not that there are no particular boundaries in oceans, right? There are no particular boundaries. So if you're continuously exploiting your exclusive economic zone, you're continuously polluting your exclusive economic zone, the high seas will also get polluted. If high seas are getting polluted, then the marine biodiversity there will also get affected. So that's the exact thing it's talking about, that it neglects the interconnectedness between EEZ. Harmful activities within EEZ, pollution and overfishing will lead to international waters also, which are high seas. And what is exclusive economic zone? The 200 nautical miles from your coast where you can, take out all the natural resources, mineral resources which come under the sovereign jurisdiction of that country. That is your exclusive economic zone. Okay. So environmental impact assessment mandates CI for planned activities, silent on major issues like oil and gas. So you will do environmental impact assessment on project which needs to be done. But it does not talk about oil and gas exploration because these are the major activities which lead to marine biodiversity pollution. But it does not talk about, the treaty is lacking in many ways. It has weak institutional capacity and conflicting legal standards. So a lot of work needs to be done. So what are the key takeaways? Key takeaways is that at least an agreement has come. It aspires to reshape global ocean governance. At least we are talking about it. faces hurdle in because of geopolitical capacity asymmetric and weak enforcement. It requires stronger political will, it requires funds, it requires technology, it requires the developed and developing countries to come together. Whatever you require for climate change, majority you require here also. Integration of high seas and coastal regulation, global cooperation. Also, you need to think from the coastal economy of people who are dependent on the coastal economy. What would you do for them? And also from the point of view, if exclusive economic zone is continuously getting exploited, polluted, or overfishing is happening here, that will have a ripple effect on your high seas also or international waters. So, prelims question. BBNJ agreement mandates profit sharing from marine genetic. Correct. It is the fourth implementation, not fourth, it is the third. Treaty requires environmental impact assessment for activities planned in international waters. So 1 and 3, third statement are correct. Second one is wrong. So we have a mains question. Biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction agreement is hailed landmark step in ocean governance. Discuss its objective, challenges and the way forward to ensure its effective implementation. In this article, we have majorly spoken about challenges and what can be done about it. So you can use the PDF to write the answer. In tidbits today, you have Trump vows new tariffs on Mexico and Canada. So he is planning to put 25% tariffs on goods coming from Canada and Mexico and 10 more additional percentage on Chinese good. Now, China has said that if Trump does this, this will only lead to trade wars, which would not be good for anyone. When it comes to Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum, she has fired back at Mr. Trump, saying that that this tariff diplomacy is misguided and it will only lead to inflation. The Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has spoken to the President of America, or rather the elected President of America, Donald Trump, because he's still the elected. He will get the seat in January 2025, but he's saying that this he would be implementing on day one. And the Trudeau is also trying to speak to him and come to a amiable decision. So the global order, let's see what happens, how global order gets to global disorder, or we really get a global order in terms of war being ended in Russia, Ukraine, or for that matter, Israel, Hamas, Israel, Houthi, or Israel, Hezbollah. There's one more news which is coming, is that between Israel and Hezbollah, that Benjamin Netanyahu, he is basically agreeing for a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. So this news has come. The details of the news are not out, what kind of ceasefire it would be. Once it happens, we'll definitely discuss it. And rest, if Trump is able to stop the Russia-Ukraine war, or the Israel-Hamas, Israel-Houthi, or Israel-Hezbollah, Israel-Iran, time will tell. But at least the ceasefire about Israel-Hezbollah has started. In important articles you can cover today in the Extra Mile, Supreme Court ruling on socialism and secularism. We had covered this in Daily Decode yesterday. The statements were, the decision had come, or the statements had come from Justice Sanjeev Khanna, that is the current CGI, what he has told on socialism and secularism and preamble. Rest, enroll for the scholarship test for OGP 2026. These are the ranks, and you can get more, up to 100% scholarship. You can scan this code for all the details, and the test is on 1st December 2024. The offline is 11 to 1, online is 11 to 12. And then I also will ask you that you can follow ICANN 2.0. Similar to my course, this course covers, a lot of answer writing. So whatever I am covering, apart from that, Sapna ma'am is covering a lot of news, which would be helping you in ethics also, which would be helping you in mains answer writing also. So this series is also, is available under the playlist. You can go every day, every alternate day in the Monday to Friday, that is Monday, Wednesday and Friday. At 9:30 a.m. this video is released. It's not a live video, but you can go through it and you can put your comments, and it will help you for your preparation. So Sapna ma'am is doing it. It's a wonderful thing. It will really help you. Thank you very much, guys, and Jai Hind. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time and continue our daily decode. Jai Hind and take care.